Oh, you. Wonderful. No, it's good that you're here. I needed someone vastly inferior to me to, make me look good. Like, that kind of cliche thing where you have the group of like 4 or 5 girls and the prettiest one looks way better because the other ones aren't that pretty. That sort of thing. Yeah, I'm basically the pretty girl. I'm so pretty, I'm so pretty. Well, if I was a girl, I would be pretty. Due to being a guy, I'm handsome. But, I'm just wonderful no matter what I turn my hand to. Yeah, the bravado is fake, but, Anyway, why are you here? Last time I checked, you were, not exactly my friend nor biggest fan. You just wanted to talk? Okay. Did you have a particular topic in mind, or...? I seemed upset. I'm looking over at you and I seem upset. I mean, you have an overactive imagination, jeez. You think I'm looking at you? Wow, that's pretty headstrong, huh? I mean, not only, with everything else, with our, sure, I'll be generous, let's call it a rivalry. Well, I mean, let's face it, rivals are supposed to be competitive, but anyway. I just... No, not see, I told you you're upset about something. I'm not upset. I don't care, you can waste your time if you want. Yeah, waste your time. Really, you need me to spell out for you? I mean, you would. Why, in the name of all that's holy, are you spending all that time with Captain Dimwit? Yeah, Captain Dimwit. You know exactly who I mean. Look, I guess I'm not your best friend or whatever, so maybe it's not my place, but no matter what else you think about me, I'm not an idiot. And that guy, I mean, come on. Really? That's who you're gonna go out with? What's wrong with him? What's right with him? He's a dimwit. He's... well, okay, let me ask it to you this way, right? If I was going to ask you in theory what you'd be looking for in a guy, you can't possibly say that it's him. You can't. He's not very smart, right? Which doesn't make him a bad guy, just makes him not smart. He's not very funny. He's not particularly affectionate towards you. To be honest, I'd say it's almost the opposite. He's quite kind of demanding. And Christ, if I notice it, surely you and your friends do. So, he's not very smart, he's not very kind. He's not very funny. Is he super good looking? I don't know. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be able to... Not to me, anyway. And I kind of don't believe he is to you. Because you don't look at him like he is. So, yeah. I don't get it. To me, he's so far below your level. And if I had to bet, I'd say the only two people who don't realize that are him and you. He probably thinks he's above your level because he's an obnoxious, arrogant tit. Yes, I get to call someone else that. Do you know why? Hell, maybe you think I'm obnoxious. Maybe I'm a little bit arrogant, but I can back it up. I mean, look at my life. Look at the things I achieve. Look at his life. What life? Who is he? What does he do? What's interesting or important about him? More to the point, honestly, do you know what really bugs me? What has he ever done to help someone who wasn't him? That's honest to God my thing. Like, this is a guy who seems to think he's God's gift to the world, and yet doesn't do anything to help anyone if he can't see the immediate self-interest. This is a guy who, you know, wouldn't help an old lady cross the street. And again, think what you want about me, but I actually do have, you know, a heart there for people who aren't me, for things that aren't directly in my self-interest. And this guy, if it wasn't in his self-interest, I don't think he'd get up in the morning. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, I know that, but look, I'm just saying you deserve better. Like who? Why does that matter? Just not him. Get a guy who's worth giving a damn about. Why should you care what I think? Because, well, again, because quite frankly, every time you try and compete with me, and you make it your life's mission to be better than me at something, pretty much every time I'm better than you. So doesn't that tell you that I've got something going for me? I guess it doesn't make me a relationship coach. You're not technically wrong. But here's the thing. You know how I know I'm right? Even, you know, outside of all the other things of just knowing it for myself. That you haven't really argued with anything I've said. Not really. I mean, I just called your boyfriend essentially a self-obsessed, unfunny, unintelligent guy who isn't really worthy of you, and you haven't exactly railed against it, right? I mean, again, I know enough about you to say that if you thought I was wrong, you would be yelling at me, telling me I'm completely wrong, really offended, staunchly defending him. None of that is happening here. Because you know I'm right. And I don't know if it's because you just don't want to be lonely, or maybe you feel kind of sorry for him in a way. Maybe he asked you out and you didn't have the heart to say no. I've got no idea what happened. But you are way beyond him. He doesn't deserve you. Just straight up, okay? Sorry to break the whole I'm always an asshole to everyone persona that you seem to want to believe about me. Or I'm sure he'll I'm sure he'll tell you that. The reality is obviously not that simple, because it never is, because I'm not a cartoon character. But if you okay. Honestly, it just makes me sad to see someone like him who doesn't deserve someone like you caring about them and looking after them and trying to explain to all the friends that he's actually great. No, really. And I mean, you're not going to tell me that you haven't had to have those conversations with your friends where they are trying to subtly nudge, like, is he really the right guy for you? And you're trying to defend him and say, oh, he's nice once you get to know him. How do I know? Because, again, it's honestly pretty obvious that he's not good enough for you and you're trying to hide it or lie about it or something. Maybe you think he can get better. Maybe you think, God forbid, you can fix him. No. Sad truth about relationships, that it's not that people can't make each other better, but realistically, you look at it, that basically relationships aren't there to fix people. if you and him fundamentally disagree about stuff like that, about how he should treat you, about how you should live life trying to, you know, better yourself and become more intelligent and more learned, more interesting, learning new skills. Okay, there's the simplest way I can like to say it. Not simplest maybe, but it works in my head. He's a guy who's quite happy to sit on the sofa and watch television and just gonna do as he's told. And you're way more interesting than that. You're interesting enough for me to notice you and notice who you are and, well, care. What I mean care? I mean care. What does it matter? It doesn't matter. It's not important. Look, can we just accept that I'm right here and you need to move on from this useless individual and find someone who deserves you? Okay? Yeah, well, what am I doing later? Why? Would I want to go out? What? I thought you were with General McNobrains. Why? What? Oh, you didn't mean on a date? Oh. I mean, well, do I want to hang out? Sure, I guess. I don't know. I mean, do I really? I don't know. What? So I do have a crush on you? What do you mean? No, I don't. What do you... I don't. Stop flattering yourself. Jeez. See, I told you you're spending too much time with this guy. You're becoming like him. So, yeah, you should stop doing that, because this guy is most certainly not it. Okay? Right. Anyway, whatever. I'm gonna move on with my life now. What? You like me too? I didn't say I liked you, and you like me too? I always thought you hated me, to be honest. And yeah, admittedly in immaturity, but I didn't think you liked me, I liked you, and I didn't want to admit that, so I guess I've been a little bit adversarial, but why? You felt the same way. So this whole time we've liked each other, and this whole time we couldn't admit to the other one that we liked each other, so we made a rivalry or kind of enemy relationship just so we could have some way to relate to each other. Wow. Man, we're like a living soap opera, huh? I'm sorry. If I had actually realized that you liked me too, I would have at least been there. And okay, but one thing, as much as I don't like, you know, okay, I'm not going to come up with another captain or something, but the guy with no anything, I'm not his fan, but he doesn't deserve not to be acknowledged or cared about, you know. So he certainly doesn't deserve to be played around with. My condition on us dating is also you break up with him first. You know? You were gonna break up with him anyway? Then why did you let me spend like 10 minutes and pretend to defend him? And what? What is wrong with you? You always found it cute when I was ranty. You're lucky I do like you. You ass.